Hey guys, welcome back. Chris and Randy here with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana. Welcome back to another unboxing video on Marksman TV. 2 weeks ago in the last video, we had some issues with our new lav mics. I think we got it figured out. If not, again, please give us some patience as we figure out the technology aspect of this. We know guns, we don't know technology too well. Anyway, guys, remember in this video, we get in a bunch of guns every single week through our supporters on WeBuyGuns.com. So we're going to walk you through some of the stuff we got today. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. That's coming up now. All right, first up, we have one from a customer in Texas. Big thank you for selling us this one. What I think we're dealing with is a bolt. It looks Swiss. That's the culprit there, the bolt handle. What's that? Yeah. Okay. What we have here is the Swiss straight pull Schmidt Rubin Gewehr of 1911, the 1911 rifle. So this would be the full-length rifle version of the K11, but of course all of those would come before the K31, which everybody knows from the World War II era. This was mainly the World War I era. So when they went to the GP11 ammo, the 7.5 Swiss ammunition, they had to get away from the older design of the 12-round magazine that would lock into place, reinforcing the receiver because now you had a smokeless powder. Now, they took their older versions, what were those, the 96? Yeah, they were the 1896 rifles, converted them into the 1911 model. This is the new rifle for the time, grafting on this grip here. So if you see a grafted on section here, that's the 9611. This is the standard GP or the 1911 rifle. Little crack here in the rear of the stock, but otherwise kind of a cool rifle. So these are actually incredibly well made. If you were to buy something like this today, it would be exceedingly expensive to have a company come out with something like this today, or the K31. It has a two-stage almost match trigger, which is unreal for a service rifle. So really cool firearms. A bunch of these came into the market about in the past 6 or 7 years. So they're not super expensive, but of course, like the K31s, when they're harder to get, they will continue to go up in price. What do you think about that one?
With the crack, Chris, I would say surplus good.
I don't know where. If it's in here, no, I don't think it is in here. I don't know. We'll have to find the paperwork and dig it out then. But yeah, I would say surplus good. There is a crack, but it looks reparable or repairable. It's kind of a hairline, but so that would kind of have to be repaired, or it would probably get worse over time. But other than that, it looks fine. So anyway, really cool rifle from that kind of World War I European history. So there is a Swiss the Gewehr 1911 rifle.
Next up is one from a customer in Pennsylvania. Thank you for sending this in to us. It's a good shipping box. Same size as the factory box.
An IWI.
Let's see what we got, Chris.
Okay. Oh, I think I remember. Yep, I remember this one. So this is the IWI X95. The X95 is a newer iteration off of the TAR-21, I believe. That was the original Tavor rifle that had been made by IWI and actually issued to the Israeli Defense Forces, came into the United States as semi-automatic rifles, since about 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Now, in about 2016, IWI would release into the U.S. commercial market the X95 Tavor, which is like the micro Tavor that the IDF had been using since about the mid-2000s, which officially replaced the M16s in the Galil and military service around that time. Now, the cool thing about the X95, or at least the micro Tavor, is that they actually are quite a bit shorter. Now, because of American importation restrictions, they had to add length on here because there's an overall length requirement. But it still is actually much smaller than the original, TAR-21. Now, a cool added benefit of this particular one here is IWI did a short run of actual IDF micro Tavor parts guns effectively. I mean, they were new production guns, but they used some leftover stocks and stuff like that. So you can see the original IDF contour of the pistol grip, and actually there's IDF markings here on the stock. So these components are actually built for military production, but they use some runoff, production parts for a limited run of their commercial guns that came here to the United States. That makes this one a little bit more unique because it does have the IDF roll markings and original pistol grip. The X95, as it comes into the country, has this big sort of trigger guard here that reaches down to the heel of the stock or the pistol grip. Although if you wanted to, you could always replace those parts with original Israeli parts like this. But this kind of came in this configuration, which is kind of cool, just a limited run that they did. So anyway, very interesting firearm. What do you think about that one?
Hard landing marks on it at all, Chris.
There's a couple
There's
little
a few
dings right up
scrapes. I would say very good. If it were not for those, it probably would be excellent.
I would agree, and that is what the customer said, so we're good there. This also has his little IWI little nub grip up here that he's replaced. Cleaning kit, original trigger, and birdcage flashlighter. This is a Geisley upgraded trigger in it. So, and I don't know what this compensator is, but it's for use with the suppressor.
Probably about $100 upgrade.
Yeah,
You just put your suppressor right on.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool firearm. Happy to get that one and to share it with you guys. And also interesting being an IDF stock with all the stuff going on in Israel right now. So anyway, very cool. Happy to get that one in. Let's move on to the next one. All right, up next we have yet another one from Texas. Big thank you for selling us this one. Browning. All right, it's kind of just floating around in there. There's a lot of magazines. All right, what we have here is a Browning BAR, but not the typical Browning BAR that we're all used to from World War II. This is a sporting rifle done by Browning. And when it comes to, honestly, the BARs, I mean, they've been making these things for a long time, even back to the Belgium days, right? They have Belgian Browning BARs.
I have one.
Yeah, you have one. There you go. All the way up to 300 Win Mag. I think it's about the biggest caliber they ever made one of those in.
That's what I have.
I don't... Nice,
of course.
Nice, Randy. To be perfectly honest, I am not too familiar with the BAR platform. I don't know if there's anything you want to share about the BAR. This looks like, what is it, the Mark III? Yeah, Mark III. Heavily modernized synthetic with a threaded barrel, fluted barrel. I know the older ones I've seen are just typical steel and wood, but...
Yeah, that's what mine is. It's probably from the 60s or maybe the 70s. Has the high gloss, wood. It's about as far away from this as what you can get. So it was the old school sporting rifle, and this obviously is upgraded with a fluted barrel, threaded barrel. You got your 1913 rail sections, which are actually integral, I believe, with the receiver. Modern synthetic stock. Mind the older ones do not have the detachable magazines. They have the floor plate that drops out
the mags
with a little
into it.
internal mag. So that's a pretty major difference here. Another, I would say, great improvement upon the rifle itself. But,
what's that one chambered in?
This one is chambered in 308, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So
nice
they're great rifles.
What do you think about the condition of that one?
It has quite a few handling marks on it. Looks like it's been out in the woods hunting, quite honestly. I would put it at probably good. There's some finish loss up here.
There is. That's from ejection, though. That's gonna happen.
Yeah. Looks like they've tried to clean it up.
I think it's a coating over the metal.
It may just be.
It's just dinged it off. It looks like a Cerakote. I don't think that they've tried to touch it up.
So it's not that bad.
It looks like Cerakote over blue, and that's the bluing underneath the Cerakote.
Gotcha.
You can feel it. Yeah.
So I would say good. If it weren't for that, probably the high end of good.
Yeah, I would say
low end to very good.
Yeah, I would say high end good, low end very good. On the other side of the polymer, there's just some probably branch strokes there from being in the woods. Very, very minor surface marks here. You hold it in the light the wrong way, you lose them. You can't see them. There is some sort of marring. It looks like a Cerakoted finish or some sort of blue that's been topped with some sort of covering or coating, which is chipping here from ejection, banging into the receiver. But other than that, it looks fine. So anyway, really cool rifle. Customer said very good condition, so that's fine. But anyway, really cool. I always like these these well. It's a more modernized version of the Browning BAR, but cool rifle to get in nonetheless, and we'll move on to the next one.
All right, this one comes to us from a customer in Utah. Thank you for sending this in to us. Oh, puppy paper.
I love puppy paper.
Puppy paper, puppy paws.
I just got real happy. Nice. Oh. Yeah. That's an ACOG. So we have, nice. Trijicon ACOG with a ballistic drop compensator on it. That's cool. 308, and the gun itself is a Zev technology. So this is a billet lower receiver. Very nice. That's a good quality AR10, 7.62 by 51 NATO or 308 rifle. Zev is really, they got their name for making those sort of Glock clones that are really overbuilt. Nice guns though. I don't know much about their AR-15s. It would appear that they are getting into the AR market like everybody else. Now, it has a really nice Trijicon 308 BDC optic on it, which is pretty badass, so I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think? And puppy paper.
That's my, you had me at puppy paper.
Yep.
Try that trigger. Ooh, yeah. It's a nice flat face trigger.
Yeah, that's a beautiful trigger.
Maybe about 2 pounds.
Nice. Large frame billet, yeah.
Other than scratches on the buffer tube.
Which is going to happen.
Yeah, is going to happen. I don't see a mark on it. I mean, I would still have to go with excellent condition.
Let me see. Probably, yeah, there are quite a bit of scratches on the buffer tube, but that's going to happen with the stock being deployed. Other than that,
one little takedown mark right there.
I mean, I would say high end, very good, low end, excellent. Either one. Customer says very good, so we're fine with that. Really like the Trijicon on there too. So, anyway, very cool rifle. Not much else really to say about it. It's a Zev manufactured AR10. So happy to get that one in and share it with you guys. We'll move on to the next one. All right. Next up, we have one from a customer in Louisiana. Big thank you for selling us this one. Excuse me. Next up, we have a Luger. This looks like a little Stoger 22 Luger. These are made by Stoger in New York. Let's see, manufactured in the USA by Stoger in, New Jersey, I was wrong. Basically what this is a Rimfire 22LR copy of the famous P08 Luger out of Germany. I actually talked about the little Stoger Lugers in a weekly used gun review video a couple weeks ago. But these are, I shouldn't really say modern, they haven't made these in quite some time, but around the 80s, 90s, they came out with these little rimfire copies. I think that they had some in 9mm as well, I'm not too sure. But these are US made, of course, nothing to do whatsoever with German service, but sort of just a little fun range plinker, if you will. Nothing too exciting though. What do you think about that one?
I mean, it's just got marks on it from operation, from probably firing and cocking. There's a little loss of bluing on the barrel. At the muzzle, probably from being carried. I would say good, high end of good.
Yeah, I would say high end of good. I mean, very low edge of very good, but probably in the good range. He said very good. I mean, that's close enough. I could buy very good. It's right there on the edge, but probably more good in my opinion. But anyway, very cool. Let's move on to the next one.
Next up is one from the same customer in Louisiana. Thank you for sending this in to us.
All right, next up we have one from a customer in Louisiana. All right, see what we got. Boxes. All right, ooh, a high power. First up, we have a high power. Big thank you for selling this one to us. This is an older one. In really good shape. Oh, it's got a disconnect. I love those disconnects. Yep. High power was a John Moses Browning design, finished by Dieudonné Save of FN in Belgium in 1935, which is where it got the name P35 or model 1935. Actually saw extensive military use through the 1940s and beyond. Germany would fold these into German military service. It was the only double stack 9mm pistol that was used during the Second World War. There was a John Inglis copy out of Canada. Great Britain used the high power after they transitioned away from their revolvers post-World War II. Really, really awesome firearm design, and is still a very strong, pertinent handgun design today. So this is an older one in the gray box, probably 80s to 90s, somewhere in there. FN just re-released a newer, modernized version of this pistol design. Springfield has a version as well, the SA35. So really cool. Not much else really to say about the high power. What do you think about that one? That's the Mark III.
I gotta say, excellent condition, Chris.
I would agree. Yeah, that's what the customer said. So, I mean, it looks like new in box.
Yeah.
Beautiful handgun. Restricted 10-round capacity magazines, but no big deal. Probably, well, it's not from a restricted state, but could have bought it somewhere else and moved there.
Maybe.
Looks like there's a couple mags here. Maybe these are not restricted. Let us see. Yeah, there you go. Metgar, 15-round magazines. So cool. Anyway, there's that one. Let's see what else we got. An old smithy. There you go. Little J frame, Smith & Wesson with a round butt. This nice looking gun. Is it a 36? Yeah, 36-9. Beautiful handgun. These little 36s, I mean, the 36 was Smith & Wesson's introduction into the J-frame revolver size. It would come out to compete with things like the Colt Detective, not the Detective Special, or was it the Detective? This is the Detective Special.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Colt Detective Special, which came out in about the 1920s. So Colt dominated that concealed carry little revolver line since the 20s, the 30s, and then in through the 40s, of course, post-World War II. After the war, Smith would come out with this, the 36 model J-frame. This is actually a gorgeous representation of that handgun. What do you think about that one? Yeah.
Hasn't even been shot very much, Chris.
Yeah, hardly a
little bit of a turn line, but the bluing is beautiful on it. I'm struggling to see any marks on it other than the turn line. I would have to say excellent condition, Chris.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It looks fantastic to me. These are awesome little revolvers. This is a -9, so...
Does not have a lock.
No. There's a little bit, it's hard to tell if that's thinning or not, but anyway, this is a -9, so it's a little bit of a later one. These look like they're probably original Smith grips. I'm not too sure though, but anyway, very cool revolver. Can't be that new. It's in the old sort of classic smaller Smith box. So
customer said excellent. Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So we're good with those. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, our next one is from a customer in Wyoming. Let's see what's in this one, Chris.
There
we go. There's that. Oh, so wait, there's more.
Oh.
Rouget.
The Rouget. All right. Beautiful. It appears to be a Blackhawk. The Super Blackhawk and 44 Magnum, so the slightly reinforced frame. Now Ruger would come out with the Blackhawk series in 1955, which would have things like target sights and more target-esque type grip panels on them, target front sight as well. By the 1950s, there was a growing need or want for the cowboy single-action army style of firearm. Colt had completed their manufacturing of what would later be known as the first generation of the Colt single-action army in 1940 was their last year of production, because in 1941, of course, we would be roped into the Second World War and they would move all of their manufacturing of small arms to things like 1911s and things like that. Now, after World War II, Colt did not immediately get back into the production of the single-action army, but you start to see a growing prevalence of spaghetti western and western genre type entertainment and media. So with that, the public is interested in single-action army type firearms. So a lot of them were taking first-gen Colts and modernizing them with target sights. You know, the King's type sights were popular at the time, target grips and things like that. So Ruger decided, hey, let's just come out with a ready off-the-shelf single-action army that people can take out and shoot. It took off like wildfire. They came out with some rimfire versions as well, the single 6 and the Bearcats a little bit later on. And then Colt would, of course, come back in shortly after that in 1956 with their second generation of the single action army. So very cool firearms. They are still made today. They've been around for a very long time. Beautiful firearms. What do you think about that one?
Just a few marks on the butt, but if I hold it out here, I can't even see it. So I would go with excellent condition, Chris.
Customer said very good. I would go with excellent. I mean, very good's fine. There are a couple little marks, but I'd be okay with excellent. So we're good with that. And then we have a Springfield. Hellcat OSP. So the OSP is the optics ready. Hellcat would come out a couple years ago to compete with things like the SIG P365. So you have a higher capacity magazine, 11 and 13, I believe.
Right.
And they have up to 15 round capacity mags as well. Wonderful little compact, ergonomic, micro compact 9mm pistol. This is the OSP or optics ready, so you could put a red dot or anything like that on top of there. So not much else really to say about it that we haven't already said. What do you think about that one?
It's got a few more marks, a lot of the high edges obviously been holstered, but I would still give it a strong, very good, Chris.
Totally agree, and that is what the customer said. So we're good with those. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up we have one from a customer in Florida. Big thank you for selling us this one.
I was waiting for my
Gun
Power
helmet.
Ranger helmet to come in.
Let's finally hear Randy. All right. Clige, Keltech, Canik, Ba-bom. All right, first up we have a Canik SFX. Caniks have been coming into the country for a while through Century Arms. They're made in Turkey. Really good quality handgun for the money. This is the SFX, so this is their more loaded competition model with lightning cuts, fiber optic sights, optics plate, interchangeable back straps, nice high capacity 18 round capacity magazine, comes with holster, different optics plates, the whole sort of kit and caboodle, right? Extended magazine release, extended slide stop. It's all there. It's a cool package for what it is. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would have to say excellent condition, Chris.
I actually would agree with that. Customer said very good, so we're good on that one. All right, Keltech, what's in that one? CP33.
CP33.
You know all about that one, Randy.
Yeah. So Keltech did what no one else seemingly has been able to do and make a double stack magazine. Quadruple stack magazine for 22 LR. And when you load these things, it'll actually load down one side, down the other, down one side, down the other. I recommend watching MarksmanTV on Netflix while you're loading these because it takes like 10 minutes to load one of these.
There's a little spine in the middle that keeps two separate compartments. So each compartment's double stack. So quadruple stack, kind of weird. So
yep, it is.
Anyway,
a lot of shooting, threaded barrel, full 1913 rail, fiber optic sights. These things are just a ton of fun. Very accurate, and honestly, they're very reliable.
Yeah.
I found that they would shoot a multitude of different types of ammunition. They were not too finicky like a lot of 22 rimfires are.
And because of the size and the weight and being a rimfire, super, super mild recoil.
Oh, yeah.
It's like shooting a BB gun. So they're cool guns.
It's very nice.
What do you think about the condition there?
Again, Chris, I would say excellent condition.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Customer said very good.
Go with that.
Yeah, looks excellent to me.
New.
Yeah, so nothing wrong there. And what's in the last box? Last box is a Ruger, probably an LCP2 and 22. So the first LCP would come out in about 2011, 2012. Really good deep concealment polymer frame handgun, kind of snappy for what they were. Heavy triggers with no safety features on them, but that was popular around the time with like the Keltech P3AT and other similar offerings on the market. About 5 or so years ago, Keltech came out with the second generation, now offering it in 22 LR Ruger, thank you. Now we're offering it in 22 LR. They call it the LCP2. Now the 22 LR has a manual thumb safety. The 380 version does not, but both of them have a trigger safety, which the first gen LCP did not have. So because that's there, they lightened up the trigger a little bit, added some grip contour, some texturing here, improved the ergonomics, put front serrations on it. Just overall made it a little bit better and more usable. But cool pistols. What do you think about that one?
It's the trifecta of excellence. I'm going to say excellent condition for the third time in a row.
Customer said excellent condition. So we agree. Excellent little pistols. Glad to get these in and share them with you guys. Big thank you to our customer in Florida.
All right, last up for this video today, Chris, is one from a customer in Arizona. Thank you very much for sending this in to us.
What's in the box?
Guns. Lots of guns.
All right. First up, we have a Daniel Defense DD M4. This is the M4A1. Very nice. So Daniel Defense is more of a premier manufacturer of AR-15s. Very high quality furniture sets, a very lightweight rifle for what it is. It still has the hand tags on them. These are just like, when it just comes to AR-15s, Daniel Defense is up there as the ones that people like the most, right up there with LMT, BCM to some extent. I'm trying to think who else, but Daniel Defense definitely has a place up there in the premium AR-15 market. Not much else really to say about them. I mean, an AR-15 is an AR-15, but when it comes to a very quality name, Daniel Defense is basically it. What do you think about that one?
Doesn't have a mark on it, Chris. I would say excellent condition.
That is what the customer said. I totally agree with that. It looks like new with the hang tag still on it, so we're good with that. All right, what's next?
There you go.
That looks like an HK. It is an HK. All right. Next up, we have an HK. Little MP5. I think they call this the SP5. Or no, that's the Century Arms. No, that's right, the SP5. The SP5 is their civilian semi-automatic version of the MP5. The original MP5 came out in 1966, revolutionary submachine gun design by HK in Germany. Now, the MP5 did fire from a closed bolt, roller delay blowback, just like their semi-automatic version is. These make awesome SBR hosts, tri-lug for suppressor attachment and threaded here at the front. Back plate can come off by moving this pin, and it's got the channels in here for an A3 type of collapsing stock or the A1 fixed stock. Really, really, really cool. These were fun to brace back when that was a thing, but now the way that this is, you're just running a single point sling. Awesome firearms. I love these things, a little SP5. What do you think about that?
I say excellent condition, Chris.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I would say excellent condition as well. Very cool. What's next? All right, last up here from this customer, we have, very nice, a Century Arms, the MKE AP5P, and this is in the MP5K configuration. So the K version was, as you can tell, was the small K or Kurtz version, which smaller handguard with the little hand stop here. Awesome little PDWs if you were able to put the stocks or anything like those. There's denial plates that are actually welded on here, but you could remove those if you were to SBR it and go that route. Very cool, again, single point sling attachment. Now, a lot of people have made MP5 clones who are not HK. Century Arms had brought these in. These are Turkish manufactured. Zenith had done a clone, PTR has done a clone, so lots of different clones out there. These are probably the most affordable, but all of them are over $1,000, but still very cool firearm. What do you think about that one?
Excellent condition, Chris.
Yep, that's what he says, and I totally agree with that, so we are good there. But anyway, that basically wraps us up with this video. Big thank you to everybody who sold us some firearms for this video, and a big thanks for tuning in and watching us unbox them. If you enjoyed this videos and other videos like it, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you are aware when we are posting new content. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. We try and read those, and we get a kick out of a lot of them. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us on this video. I am Chris.
And I'm Randy.
And you guys are watching Marksman TV, and we will see you next time. And you even have the You even have the chemistry.
I do.
Yeah, you're gonna get all sorts of comments.
It's a periodic table of freedom, Chris.
Yeah, you are the Heisenberg of freedom.
That's right.
Brandenburg.
I am the one who blocks.
Chris.
Say my name. You know, Randenburg. Oh my God, Randy.
Well,
Scissors this.
clear.
All right, next up we have.
I was going to say Randenburg, but
Man, yeah, you should have said Randenburg.